Days, 9 p.m. on TV 33. Join me, Barry Ross, on Mixing It Up. We'll feature informative community organizations that will offer solutions to Wayne County residents in reference to employment, safety, and security within neighborhoods, job training, education, and mentoring programs. Remember, Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Join me, Barry Ross, Mixing It Up on TV 33. Good evening. Welcome to another segment of Mixing It Up. I appreciate the opportunity to come into your home. I humbly welcome the opportunity, and my name is Barry Ross. For those of you that don't know, we broadcast to you live. This is not a recorded TV show. And we broadcast to you live, for those of you who don't know, on TV 33 in most of Detroit. I'm looking good tonight. Comcast 20. And we're online at TV33Live.com. This TV station has a live Facebook feed. If you went to the new TV 33 WHPR and you hit like and then welcome, you're automatically watching us live on Facebook. And then you can punch in your own name up top in the status bar, and it transfers to your own page with your own friends. You got to do it. Listen, this is our show. This is a community show. What I do on the street, more so even than my business, I bring to this show. I want you to call me. I want you to talk to me. I want you to talk to our guests. I need your opinions. I want to make this show better. Please, we're in a 313-868-0342, 868-0351, and 868-4336. This show can be watched in India, in Japan, Russia, Africa, anywhere where the internet is, which is probably everywhere on this planet, except in remote places in the world, like in the Himalayas. You can watch us. So please, we encourage you to get involved, because this is real TV. It's not sugar-coated. It's not fabricated. What you see here on this station is the truth. And I have to tell you, I'm almost embarrassed to do my show tonight after Minister Shabazz had the emergency manager on his show, Roy Roberts, and it was. And I am so proud to know a man of Malik's stature. I have to tell you, it's only elevated me. And to be honest with you, I live in honor to help this man in the work that he does on the streets of Detroit. That's how come I followed him here to learn and educate myself and meet the people that he knows. The mayor's been on his show, and the whole city council, the chief of police. So I got to tell you, I'm a better person for knowing Malik. And this weekend, myself, Malik, and several other organizations, we boarded up houses. We're now on our 16th house. The babies that walk to school, if you were a child, if you were a kid, teenager, and you're walking to school, and all the houses, most of them on your street, had no windows. The doors were hanging off. There were drug dealers lurking in these homes, sexual predators. How are you going to want to do well in school? This kind of negative sentiment, how could this drive you to do well? We want to make sure that this city is safe and secure for the women and children. We're having a fundraiser at the McDonald's 2 blocks from this studio, June 4th at 3 p.m. And check this out. We're having John Mason, the DJ, serve burgers, and Senator Coleman Young II is also going to be serving. And we have our very own media man, Kevin Lewis, is going to be behind the counter. And let's say you can't make it. The city's not funding these houses that we're doing, by the way. We're paying for them out of pocket. You can send us a check. You're going to make the checks out to, because they're tax deductible, to the True Oracles of God Church. Now, this is not their address. This is a P.O. box we have. It's at 17301 Livernois, Suite 405, Detroit 48221. You're going to hear more about it. And I got some other announcements to make. So stay tuned. Tonight, we have my first guest we're going to get to in a couple minutes. We're very privileged to have a woman on who has turned her life around, and I'm going to let her tell you about it. It's a miracle. I'm a miracle. And most of my friends that are out here in the street, she is a great community person. She's up front with the Better Detroit Youth Movement, and I can't wait to hear from Miss Sharon Dean, Mrs. Sharon Dean. So we'll be back with her in a couple minutes. And I have a couple other scheduled guests. I know Kevin Lewis is coming here from It's Web TV. You can get your own show on Kevin's web TV station, and it's in Southfield. And Kevin's going to tell us about it. Where else are we? Okay, so those are the announcements. Listen to this. Gary Brown. I don't know why a man that sues the city for $9 million and wins would want to be on the city council. But Gary Brown is one of the sole reasons, I believe, the main influence on how this consent agreement was passed with the governor. And we never would have wanted a consent agreement. So we're protesting him on Sunday. And he lives in Sherwood Forest at 3333. That's 4 3s, Kingston, between 7 Mile and Sherborne. So that's in a 7 Mile, Livernois, Woodward area. And what time is this going to be? This is going to be at 3 o'clock Sunday at 3 p.m. That's the 27th. You know what? I don't even see the time on here. I presume it's at 3 o'clock Sunday. Is the time on here, Gabe? I don't see the time. Sunday at 3 p.m. at 3333 Kingston. Okay. 3:30 Sunday. Where is that time on there? I didn't even see it. Third from the top. Okay. It's 3:30 Sunday. We're protesting Gary Brown's house. We need people to look out for the city. We don't need people to sell out for the city. This is unfair. So we're going to do something about it. Now, this Friday at Second Ebenezer on DeQuinder, in case you don't know about the big church that's the size of the MGM in Las Vegas, it's at 14601 DeQuinder near McNichols. General Assembly will be held from 4:30 to 6:30. That's this Friday, May 25th. Now also, after that ceremony at the same church, Second Ebenezer, from 6 to 7:30, can we close the door? They're also holding another symposium on youth for violence. And we need our children to get on board. Our children, many, many children, are lost. We have so many organizations that are stepping up, but we all need to get on board. So we're recommending that you go this Friday, actually from 4:30 till 7:30, Second Ebenezer. This is the neighborhood violence. It's a disease. How's that? There's a school of thought that violence is a contagion, it's a disease, and somebody's coming from out of town, some noted speaker, to talk in this regard. So I think that's all the announcements for now, and I have to tell you, we were out Sunday on East State Fair, about a half a mile from 75 and Hall Street, at the True Oracles of God Ministries, and we had about 30 people with us. We had some teenagers. We had women. We had babies. We cut the grass that was, honest to God, 3 feet, 2 feet high. A neighbor donated some weed whackers. We didn't even have the equipment. We had a man, Mark Coomer, came out from the other side of town and donated his time. He's a licensed builder, and he came out and nailed the boards up. We had everybody working like, oh my God, it was beautiful. And I'm going to tell you something, I cried on my way home. Yeah, real men cry. We fellowshipped. We all had food together. We boiled, barbecued the hot dogs. I think that's a good way of putting it. You ever have boiled hot dogs first and then maybe barbecued? We all sat around and we had Kool-Aid and talked. And Malik and I are going to have some tapes to this effect. And very proud. So far, to our credit, the Greater Detroit Restoration Coalition Project, several community organizations are stepping up, working together, regardless of what we look like, regardless as to our religious beliefs, regardless as to any of our beliefs. We have one common good, and that's Detroit, and that's the babies, the women, and children. We need you to get on board. My God. Listen, I went to the city, talked to somebody high up in the administration, and I said, we're boarding up houses. We had a meeting, and I said, can you do me a favor? I'm a businessman. I don't own a truck. We needed to transport the plywood. Barry, we couldn't give you a nail. The city of Detroit could not give me a nail. I offered to do some houses for the city that somebody was calling them about all the time and breathing down their neck. Do this for them, and they couldn't give me this is their reply. This is what we're dealing with. We go out to the community to help you, and you don't help us help you. That's just how it is. So, and the good leaders that do good things, people talk about them. And I'll tell you something else real quick. You got to be careful of the people that you think are good leaders, and really watch what they do. Really watch what they do. Are these the people that walk the talk? Are these the people that respect you? Are these the people that run a detail in your neighborhood, and then later on some men come out and hit on the women that they knocked in their house and went door to door? You ain't going to find it in our organizations. We are respectful, we are courteous, we are polite, and we want to help you, and we love you, and we need you. And if we don't all work together, we don't have anything at all. So that's it for now. I want to get right into the reason I'm here is to present to you miracles. And without any further delay, I want to bring on Miss Sharon. You need to come a little closer to the microphone so they can hear you. Okay.
Is that good?
Yes. And your name is?
My name is Sharon Williams Dean.
And you are beautiful tonight. You just light up the room, dear.
Well, thank you so much.
How are you?
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm good.
Thank you. You can look at me too. I'm not that ugly. I took a picture. I took a picture here last week, and they made me look better than I actually look. It's amazing. So I have to tell you, I thought I'm so unattractive. I looked at the picture, so wow, I looked at you, but you do look good. You don't need them. You don't need any makeup.
Well, thank you so much. All these compliments. I'm just glad and proud to be here with you. Glad to be get behind the Greater Detroit Restoration Project. I am the liaison, community liaison person for the Better Detroit Youth Movement, and have been so for 4 years now. As you said, I am truly a miracle. I came up on the east side of Detroit, and I did what everybody else, most of the people on the east side of Detroit did. And I went to school, and later on I had children, and I got into a little trouble. But basically, God kind of just picked me up and took me and put me into a better situation. Yes.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. But anyway, I'm a recovering addict.
And I am as well.
And I have been that for almost 25 years. It'll be 25 years in July. No slips, no dips, no weekend trips.
No packs, no sex.
No, none of that stuff. No alcohol. I've stopped smoking. And, I just really feel better.
Slow down. May I?
Go ahead.
May I be so rude? How did you get into recovery? Did you just wake up one day and say, well, that's it? Or did you go into treatment, or what happened?
No, I did not go into treatment.
Wow.
I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I started seeing younger and younger faces in places that they shouldn't be. And it started to hurt my heart. I saw young girls out there on the street, 15, 16. And at that time, I was in my 30s. And I was, oh my, this is terrible. And I was a part of that. So therefore, in order to make a change, you have to change yourself.
Boy, that's beautiful. Okay, go on.
And so I prayed to God to please help me. I managed to get into a program, NA, and that program changed my life. God led me to the program, and the program changed my life.
How did you find out where the first meeting was? Did you call Narcotics Anonymous or?
I called the cocaine hotline,
Okay.
and I said that I needed help. I had been in trouble. You know, I was a teen. That I didn't have any parents, first of all, and so when you don't have any
God
parents,
brought you.
yeah, that's right. That's
Okay.
it.
Okay.
And so he lifted me. That's all. That he continued to lift me in my homelessness, in my wretchedness, in my substance abuse. He lifted me, and it is something that you feel inside, and you see your neighborhood, you see what's happening in Detroit, and you got to want to do something about it. And then after you want to do something about it, you got to get past wanting, and you got to do something. And so that's where I'm at. I'm doing quite a few things. I actually got clean.
When you were a
Ended up
baby.
with a master's degree
Oh my God, that's
in
wonderful.
business administration, entrepreneurial specialties. I went back to school and got certified to teach children with learning
Can
disabilities.
I ask you a couple questions?
Yes, you
I don't
can.
mean- I don't mean to be the pushy white
okay.
guy, but I just want to,
That-
because that
that's
seems to
okay.
be my title these days, so to speak. But I just want to ask you, when you said you went back to school, did you find some kind of program, Michigan Rehab? Was there somebody advising you? Did you go to did you get grants, or how did that happen?
No, I did not get grants. I went back to school. I started cleaning houses,
Wow.
and as I was cleaning
That
houses,
was your first job clean?
yeah. I was cleaning houses, and my service is still available at hazelmaintenanceservice.com. And
Say that again, slowly.
hazelmaintenanceservice.com.
And do you have helpers?
I do have a couple of people that are working for me now because they're not working with me. Things have gotten a little bit better. They're working for me. I do that. I also am at SEWDconsultingservices.com.
Can we go, because you go fast.
Okay.
I'm always told I'm speeding. But I just wanted to go back. You were homeless from the drugs, right? Okay, for how long and where were you staying, and I want people to hear the magnitude of your miracle.
I was homeless, and I went to COTS. It was 1987, and I was homeless. My first husband and I were apart due to the drug usage, and I went downtown, and COTS was not the place for me at that time because I was trying to clean houses. I was trying to survive. I couldn't even get welfare. All I could get was the $30 a week, every 2 weeks check. And
But COTS would put you up, though.
okay, but they would put me up, but they were restraining me from going out and doing my cleaning jobs.
But why did you need to clean if they were putting you up? Because you want to get high?
I needed money I wanted to do better. I wanted to change my situation overnight.
Right, there it is.
That's
Thank
what
you.
I wanted.
Thank you.
My situation was so horrible. I wanted to change the situation overnight.
You want a microwave recovery,
Right,
like
and
we all. Okay, I'm sorry. Go
So
ahead.
I ended up sleeping in a storage room at the Detroiter Hotel in downtown Detroit.
Which is now since.
It's now torn down, but I went to the building, and it was a terrible place. And I went there, and I said, "Can I clean rooms?" And they said, "You can go upstairs and check and see if you can clean rooms." And there were a lot of men in this building, and I went up and I asked one man. I said, "Can I clean your room?" He says, "How much?" I said, $20. He only had a room and a bathroom. I took his 20, and I went and got some cleaning supplies. And I cleaned his room. Then the next room, I was able to get some food. And so I cleaned the next room. And it went from that to me making $65,000 in one of the years that I did cleaning.
Cleaning?
Cleaning. Straight up cleaning.
The drugs are a hell of a motivator.
Yeah, but I wasn't using them.
Oh, you weren't using them?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, I'm
no,
sorry.
I wasn't.
So you were clean at that time?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
And I did that, and I wasn't getting the contracts that I wanted. I had gotten some from the state of Michigan minority opportunities, and did some of the Secretary of States, but I wanted more. And in being clean, my first thing was to go and be a substance abuse counselor. But that didn't seem to work for me. I thought about it and I said, no, I'm going to go into business. I went into Davenport University, which was then Detroit College of Business in Warren. And I went there and I got my associate, bachelor's, and my master's degree in Dearborn at Davenport.
In what? Your master's in what?
Okay, my master's is in business administration and management, entrepreneurial specialties, because I wanted to find out why I wasn't making it in my business. Okay, I was an ex-Chrysler worker. I was an ex-convict. I was a
Wait. You went to prison.
Yes, I did.
For how long?
I went to prison in the 12th grade. And I often told my students later on.
You were a minor, and you went to prison. They waived you.
No, I wasn't a minor. I was old enough to go. I had went to parochial school, and you usually get put back a little bit. So I was around 1969, and I went to DeHoco, as they used to call it, the Detroit House of Correction.
Mm-hmm.
And I was I was in the 12th grade. I was the vice president of the student government. My mom had died, and you know, my world had just kind of been crushed, and I was out there shoplifting. And I went there in '69.
For how long?
Only 90 days.
Yeah, it's short.
But it was short. But for the women, you were locked up with people who had killed their children, killed their husbands. You know, it was a whole lot of serious criminals there. And so, you know, I was put in there, and then I learned some more things.
Yeah, it's the best school in the world.
Yeah, right. And so I got out in '69. I went back again in '70 and did 90 more days. I was pregnant at that time with my second son. I decided, I came out and I wanted to graduate. And I did graduate.
GED?
I went I went and got a diploma. I went to Dancy Adult Day School. It used to be on Mack Avenue and the Boulevard. It was the old Eastern High School. And also, at the same time, 1971, I got hired at Chrysler Corporation. And that was a blessing, because here you got somebody, a poor kid off the east side, no parents. I needed that money.
Who was raising you when you were a kid? You said no parents, but what? Your mom, your grandmother?
I was raised, and you know, they've told me already I needed to write a book about this. I was raised by a lady that I thought was my mother. When I was 15 years old, she passed. At the time that she passed, I found out that my name was not my name. My birthday was not my birthday. And she was not my mother.
Who was she?
She was a lady that they told me she had children. They said, well, Mom brought you home one day. So I never made the milk carton. Her sister.
Excuse me. You were kidnapped? She raised you. This was right?
She took me, and they said my mother came back to get me a year later. When my mother came back to get me, she said, come back. I'll have all her stuff ready. And the woman left town with me. And I thought she was my mother until I was 15.
And you were how old when this, like a baby? 2?
I was under 1 year old.
Oh, my God.
I was under 1 year old. So, you know, that itself is devastating, because I went on to teach in high school. And when a girl in high school breaks her nails, everyone is looking. So when you're in high school and the teacher says, Sharon, and you raise your hand and everybody looks around and said, that's not your name. And then, you know, they tease me because they said, oh, you don't even know your own name.
But how did they know any of this?
I went to school with these kids, and they knew me. And all of a sudden, after my mom died, my name changed. Wow. And so it was kind of embarrassing. In my life, there was sexual abuse. There was a lot of living on the street from house to house. there are some good people out there, though. I'm going to say that.
You're one of them.
Hazel has cleaned many houses, and I cleaned houses before I was Hazel because I was that 15-year-old girl that was living across the street from you. And then when you looked up, I was living down the street from you. And then when you looked up, I was living on the next block because I didn't have a place to stay.
May I ask you something?
Yes.
How did you find resolve? I don't know if we would say we're ever really healed.
Mm-hmm.
This is a lifetime process, recovery. How would you say you found the ability to pick yourself up
I
and
prayed.
go through this?
I prayed.
Were you always a God-fearing person?
The lady that raised me gave me a lot of knowledge. And we always prayed. She always kept me in church. She always gave me something to believe in. But, when you lose your mom at 15 and then you find out that she was lying after she told you to go to church, that's kind of hard.
Well, you lost your mom when you were a baby and you found out that this wasn't your mom.
Right.
That's a whole other story.
Right. I found out that she was lying to me, so I got mad at the woman that gave me away that I didn't know, and I got mad at the one that told me not to lie.
And your father? Any clue?
No.
Any relatives have you met in these years?
No. I have a
Wow.
son who, when he found this out, he was 13, and he looked at me and he said, Mom, when I grow up, he said, that's why we don't have any grandmothers. He said, when I grow up, I'm going to have a lot of kids so you can have a big family.
Oh, God.
I didn't pay any attention, and he was 13. And when you turn 13 around, you have 31. He sent me a picture of the 10th baby, pointing to the baby like this. And I was, oh, my God, I heard him. He said, when you get older, you're going to be happy. You're going to have a big family. And he meant that, and he did it. And you know what? I'm grateful. All of them are not good kids. They have their problems, some of them.
How many are there?
He has 11.
Wow.
And my other son has 5.
And you have just the one son?
I have 2.
And the other one?
He has 5. Kenneth and Anthony.
You want to say hello to them? Are they watching?
Hi, Kenny. Hi, Anthony. They will be on the internet.
Well, they're
Definitely
watching
checking
you.
this out.
What's up, guys?
What's up, guys?
One of them lives here, one doesn't?
No. One is in Minnesota, and one is in Atlanta.
Okay. Because I would tell him to come to my store. I want to talk to him.
Well, the one in Atlanta, he wants to come back to Detroit so bad. I says nothing is going on. He took his kids. They could have a better way to go.
Okay, now you don't know. We don't know each other well, and I don't know if I've ever told you, but what I do in the community has saved my life, and in a short period of time. And I say this all the time. When I stopped using drugs, and it still hasn't gone away, I have thought about taking my own life for 20 years now. A lot of mornings I still wake up, and it just comes in my head and goes up, whatever. But what I do has given me, and even Sunday, a sense of sustenance, of life. And listen, I've had money. I've tried to fill this, we talk about
Void.
a hole with sex, with drugs, with gambling. I gambled a ton. I tried everything. Would a new car make me feel happy? Absolutely, money is important, but you can't make it your God. You can't make your other half, a significant other, your whole world. You have to be whole yourself. So, this has given me a sense of purpose. I believe that what you do in the community, and what you talk about, has given you a joy that's second to none. Because you're relentless. The Better Youth Movement, you're their greatest lobby. I haven't met a lot of people that go out like you, and you called and introduced yourself to me, and you were willing to do anything to try to get us monies for boarding up. And I really love that. And what are you doing? What's your position? You're a liaison?
I'm the community liaison person. What happened, the Better Detroit Youth Movement was giving a art party maybe 5 years ago. And I wanted to be a vendor. So I went there and I paid $30. And at the time that I saw what they were doing, I said, what can I do to be a part of this? because what you're doing is a good thing. It's great. And I went as a volunteer to teach children art at the art party. So the children came around the table, and I did artwork with them, and I continue to do that.
Where do you do this now?
Well,
The art.
they do the Million Father March every year. They give art parties, and then they have the program for the girls.
Where's a million father march?
Million Father March
Every year?
every year.
What? Yeah, I think.
They march during the parade just before school starts. Yeah.
The Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
The Martin Luther King's. Okay.
And they have the Million Father March, and it's sponsored by the Better Detroit Youth Movement. And it's also in Chicago and a lot of other places in New York. They do this march. And this is the time when they want to get males involved in the students at school, because they find mentoring or just being a part of their life. They say if you've got an uncle, have your uncle enroll you. If you got a brother, have your brother to enroll
Where
you.
can they sign up
Okay.
throughout the year? Where can men go?
Okay.
If anybody's watching wants to get involved.
They can go online to the Better Detroit Youth Movement. They also may call me at 313-740-4904 if they want to be a part
Remember,
of the
speak
Better.
slowly because people are not going to remember it all.
If they want to be a part of the Better Detroit Youth Movement and they want to be a father that's involved or a man that's involved in getting students enrolled and mentoring throughout the year, call 313-740-4904.
I got a question about that. These men that volunteer, they are checked out.
Yes.
Who checks them out?
Well, Ray and Harlan Bivens.
Ray's the wife of Harlan.
Ray is the wife of Harlan Bivens. They have been doing an excellent job of getting good people and checking them out.
That's what we want is good. And Jay owns Jay's Fades on Livernois
Jay's
and 6
Fades.
Mile. And if you want a haircut by an amazing man that will give you an experience in your head you will never forget. And I'll tell you something about when I want my haircut. I think I'm going to go to Jay and I'm going to get a fade. I got a big scar across my head from an accident. I might let Jay give me a fade. Jay is on Livernois, just north of 6 Mile.
Of McNichols, right there.
And Jay is co-founder.
He is co-founder of the Better Detroit Youth Movement.
And tell them why we're at it, because we have some time, about the job fair, June 29th.
Now, there is a job fair coming up. Now, I don't have a lot to do with the job fair itself because I'm working with about 4 different organizations that are doing things to change the destiny of Detroit. I want to mention. Can I mention?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I want to first mention James Hodges. James Hodges is another miracle, and he's with the Detroit Initiative for the Arts, and he's looking for talent in Detroit.
To do what?
He's looking for singers, dancers, and he's going to work with them to get them where they need to be so they don't fall into the hands of people that are just trying to use them.
Does he have a studio?
He's working on, it's a church on Woodward, and I can't call the name of it right now. It's a large church. They have an auditorium there, and they're working there.
How about James's phone number?
Okay, you can call 919-4356.
313.
313.
Say it again.
And 919-4356.
Now,
and that's 313.
Now, if you have some kind of talent, no, we're talking about talent.
We're talking about talent.
Okay, so if you can sing, if you can
dance, there's also
play an
rappers,
instrument,
spoken word, people that do poetry and things of that nature.
Excuse me, is this the lighthouse near James Holly's?
Yes, that's where it's at. Right across the
That's what I'm
street
talking
where the
about.
auditorium is.
Okay.
In there. That's where they go. One more, yes it is. And one more, Michael Thompson, AFB Network.
And
Inc.
he does.
He's teaching financial awareness, entrepreneurship, and things of that nature. And his organization is training entrepreneurs They're also going out and finding jobs for individuals who go through their program. They meet over on 6 Mile and Gratiot.
At a church.
No, it's a Mount Zion church.
Mount Zion's a church.
Mount Zion's a church,
I
but
went to
there's a
meetings in
whole
Mount Zion, in the
place.
basement,
Yeah,
right?
but they're not in the basement. There's an office area.
Okay, but that's the church.
Yeah, that's the church,
Yeah,
Mount
but
Zion,
many meetings, sir.
and that's the AFB network.
Okay.
The next one I'm
Is there
going
a
to
phone
say,
number for him?
Michael Thompson. You can call me 313-919-4356. Okay, the next is Peter Jackson, and Peter Jackson deals with artists. Every year he does the 5 Mo Artist Show, and this show
Five
is
Mo?
5 Mo, and
Not more, Mo.
Mo, and this is at the Samaritan Center this year, June 23rd. 7:00 p.m. until 2:00 p.m. And he has theatrical things. He has visual arts, and he's looking for artists.
Boy, you're just a wealth of information.
One more, I got to say this
Go ahead,
one,
go
or
ahead,
I
go-
will
no,
not
no.
be able to live in Detroit.
Go ahead.
Okay, last but not least, Daniel C. Brookins of Brookins Construction Trade School is
This one you were telling me about.
yes, he's a licensed contractor, and he's getting together with Hartford Memorial Church, and on June the 10th at 7:30, between the 7:30 a.m. service and the 11 o'clock a.m. service, he will be giving out applications for admissions, and this program is for prison reentries, people that have gone to prison and need to learn a trade because they may not get hired.
Free? Is this free?
This program was funded by the city of Detroit, and now they're getting grants for that. They also have children, young people that need GEDs and need training for that.
All right, I just want to tell you something, not to interrupt you.
That's okay.
A couple things. The official Detroit Empowerment Movement on Facebook is, and we're going to go on with this, is the place to post for jobs, government, and community. I'm going to tell you about it. And the Detroit Coalition Against Violence.org. I am going to post a link for you and these people because I'm a resource site as well.
Okay.
So, on my site, I have leaders in Detroit. I mean, real leaders.
Yes.
Not what people think are leaders.
Right.
Real
Real
leaders.
leaders.
There's this much on Malik Shabazz, and very little on a couple other leaders that are not leaders. And I have poison control.
You got everything.
I got everything on there, all different, every single district. But I'm gonna have to redo it because they want to do. All right, so this stuff needs to be out there.
Yeah, it needs to be out there. And the thing about it is, there's not enough people to get the messages out there, and there's not enough people that there should be more people interested in Detroit.
Well, we're trying. It's slow motion because so many people say they're for something, and then you don't see them.
And then you don't see them. Well, one thing about it, I've been with
they
the Better
talk a good
Detroit
game.
Youth Movement for over 4 or 5 years now, and when I retired in December from the Detroit Public School System. Oh, that was a relief. And when I told Jay, I said, well, now I have a little bit more time to work with you guys and to work with the children. There has to be, we can't just go by the wayside.
Too much. I just want to tell you something,
Okay.
and I promise you this, and may God strike me down if I'm lying. I will never make a promise or commitment that I will not try to achieve to anybody.
Right.
I will never tell. I'm going to tell you a little cute story.
Go ahead.
I used to go to Jamaica all the time, and I was on the beach one day, and a long time ago, I was smoking marijuana with a native.
No.
Yeah. Wait. And I said to him, he's a poor young kid, I said, if there was anything you wanted right now, what would you like to have? You know what he said to me? Some American rolling papers. Listen to me. My hotel was 6 miles away. I took my motorcycle, I went down to my hotel. 2 hours later, I brought him back. He said, I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Right.
I mean, just something, a 99 cent.
Right.
You never know. People need us to depend on each other. So
Our children need us. I found when I was teaching that my students, I miss them. That's one thing I miss is my students, because a lot of times, sometimes all the student needs is someone to show that they're interested,
that they care.
that they care,
Because
and
they don't
that
have
they
a
want to
voice.
listen to them.
That's what Mr. Pointer, where is he? That's what I see. I sat in Mr. Pointer's African history class, culture. I see he wants to let these children be heard. We've been in meetings together with other groups. He always brings the kids to let them be a part of it all, because they never get heard. I didn't get heard in my house. They'd sit there and talk about you right while you're in the room. All right, let's take a quick call, and then we're going to take a break. Hello, you're on the air. How are you?
Good evening.
Good evening. Could you speak up a little, please?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes.
I'm really enjoying your show. Your show is awesome. I'm always happy to be able to tune in. I'm a single mother with a 17-year-old, and I've been fortunate enough to keep a job, get him in the summer youth job programs every year. He's 17 now, and he's trying to do his own business. I like to encourage entrepreneurship. We need to do that with our children at an early age so that they could provide jobs and create jobs also. So if there's anything that I can tie him in with the youth programs, I would like to push him into that program. To further, we need to encourage the CEOs and our youth and our young people. Thank you so much. And I have the number 919-4356.
Yes, ma'am.
But don't leave. Don't leave. What is the main number for the Better Detroit Youth Movement if she want to get a hold and find out about more activities?
It's in my cell phone, and I don't ever say it.
Okay.
Are you watching us online or on TV?
I'm watching you on my television.
Okay. If you hold on a minute or two, we're gonna give you the phone number where you can always find out. You don't know that, Sharon?
Well, she can. Yeah, it's in my purse.
That's okay. It's in her
Give
purse.
it here.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
It's a good place.
Nowadays no one knows any
Hold
numbers.
on. It's 248.
He didn't know it either. 248
961
961 6419. Thank you so much.
248-961-6419.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I will be in touch because we need to, we need to encourage the CEOs in our children's life.
Hey, ma'am. By the way, they're having a job fair June 29th still.
Yep,
At
that's
Burt's in the Eastern Market at 12 till 4 p.m., which is a Friday. I would assume there's going to be over 500 people there. I would highly encourage your son to come and yourself and network.
June the 29th.
June 29th at Burt's at 2727 Russell Street in the Eastern Market.
Oh, I know what Bert is. I go for the Diva Nights and all the comedy shows. We're happy to have Bert available to all of us.
Oh, are you kidding me? Yes,
Great.
we are certainly very lucky to have Bert. Thank you for your call.
And keep up the good work there. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. Your voice sounds familiar.
All right. Yep. You see me. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Just real quick, give him your number again.
Okay.
And what you're crunching your face up for. You're so beautiful, I can't stand it. Can I get a little less light here because the beauty is glaring at me?
You better stop it. My number is 313-919-4356.
Tell him your name.
Sharon Williams Dean, Better Detroit Youth Movement Community Liaison Person, and there's other various organizations that I deal with. And if someone has youth, if someone has a person that has a criminal background, or if someone has a displaced worker, if you call me, I can find somebody that will talk to them and assist them.
I just want to say one thing before I say goodbye. There is nobody in the city of Detroit that need ever go hungry, that need go without some kind of assistance in learning. that need go without mentorship. There are enough programs. That's why I started I initially want to start this alliance with several organizations so we could have a resource page. There are so many programs available to us, and we don't know about them.
Right.
That's why we need to all get together. All right, we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you so
We're going to
much.
have you back because we didn't scratch the surface on everything. So we'll be right back, everybody.
Thank you so
for
much.
tuning in. Days, 9 p.m. on TV 33. Join me, Barry Ross, on Mixing It Up. We'll feature informative community organizations that will offer solutions to Wayne County residents in reference to employment, safety, and security within neighborhoods, job training, education, and mentoring programs. Remember, Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Join me, Barry Ross, Mixing It Up on TV 33.
Hi, Mom.
Where'd you get all this Narcotics Anonymous stuff from?
Mrs. Owens had Narcotics Anonymous come and talk to our class about meetings that can help people stop using drugs.
Narcotics Anonymous.
Yes, please. Can you help me?
Call Narcotics Anonymous. We can help you.
We are the faces of Detroit.
We are the faces of Delray.
We are the faces of Delray. Governor Snyder wants to put us out of our homes by building a bridge in our front yard.
Homes where we raised our families.
A community where we buried our loved one.
Delray is struggling, but it's not lifeless. It's a community of hopes and dreams.
Governor Snyder.
Invest.
Not destroy.
1,000 men's suits. And right now at Sermons, you can buy one and get two free. Not one suit, but two free. Buy one suit, bring two friends. Buy one suit, bring two relatives. Buy one suit, get two free. Bring your pastor, your boss, your teacher. Buy one suit and get two free. Sermons with 90 years of experience, carrying jeans, exotic skin shoes, sets, shirts, leather, sweaters, everything for the well-dressed man. Buy one suit, get two free. Sermons on Randolph in downtown Detroit.
Hey, come on. Man, what is taking so long? Let's play.
Just getting a number.
Whose number?
Narcotics Anonymous.
Hey, if you need to talk.
No way, it's not for me, it's for my brother. He's constantly wasted. Come on, hoop time. Can you tell me about NA?
Call Narcotics Anonymous. We can help you.
You're watching Power Talk on your community TV station, UHF TV 33, Detroit, Highland Park.
There are all kinds of people. Their variety is almost endless, and that's a good thing. Diversity is our strength, and so are our similarities. But there's one thing that far too many people share: addiction. If you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, call Narcotics Anonymous. Addiction doesn't discriminate. We can help you.
Welcome back to Mixing It Up. We're watching each other live on TV 33, Comcast 20 in Detroit. Something I don't normally do is talk about my business, Sermons Close. And my family, my grandfather came here from Russia in 1917 and opened up Sermons. And we're in our 95th year. I don't know of anybody, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a part owner. I'm a little bitty owner, part of the owner. My older brother owns a majority stock in a corporation, and that's fine. He deserves it. He's worked harder than me. But I don't know of anybody that gives the level of service that we do. You know, when you come in sermons, when you come in Sermons Close, most of the time, if you shopped there before, we know your grandfather's name. We don't just treat you like a number. when you go, check this out, and you know I'm telling the truth. When you go into a department store, most of the time, if you're helping yourself find something, you can't find somebody to ring up your money. Think about it. How many times have you stood there waiting even to find the right person to service you? You come into our store, right? Let's say you got a wedding in 2 hours, and this happens very often, and you just got the money. You know times are tight. People can't pay their light bill. They can't put food on the table. But all of a sudden, you just got some money. That's generally how it happens. And you need a suit fixed for a wedding that you're going to be at in 2 hours. You come in my store, and we'll fix that suit most of the time while you wait. I don't know anybody else that does it. And let's say we fix that suit, and we make a mistake, and you come back, and obviously you'd be disappointed. I will give you a free dress shirt, a free tie, because we feel bad when we make a mistake. But you know, you go to a lot of stores in Detroit. I'm not trying to talk about anybody, but a lot of times they don't even recognize your face. And if you got a problem, they don't even want to talk to you. I mean, we're not happy you got a problem, but we're going to make it right. And I can't tell you how many times that I have delivered a suit, made up a problem, made it right. How many suits that I have provided for people in the city that were hurting. And you know, I never try to sell myself, but we got a straight up good store that has been part of the city. No one's chased us out. We've been there during the riots. We really wouldn't call them riots, right? It was a rebellion, okay? It was different than a race riot. So I'm not going to even call it that. World War I, II, III, Vietnam. I remember when the BKs and the Errol Flynns tried to take over our store in the late 70s. And they did it like a military tactic. I'll never forget it. At 4 o'clock one afternoon, I was alone with 4 elderly Jewish salesmen. They must have been all in their 80s. 2 young guys come in. 4:03, 2 more came in. This kept going on for 15 minutes until we had, I'm not exaggerating, 30, 40 kids in the store. And all of a sudden, one of them makes a move and he takes a sweater, and I start to step. You know, like, what am I going to do anyway? But it's my store, my family. I start to step, and then I realize that if I go, then they really going after everybody. I've seen it all. Butch Jones, the height of crack cocaine. Man, we used to be so busy. When used and damaged was hot, we couldn't get it out of the box fast enough. They'd call, what time's UPS coming in, Barry? What time's the next shipment? I've seen it all. Superfly. I was the only white guy in the Mercury Theater to see Superfly. I'll never forget it. We had all the long coats with the fur collars. So we're still standing. Listen, this is Gabe Kenyatta.
Yes, sir.
Gabe.
Thank you. Thank you.
Gabe,
It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Gabe is the right arm, may I? Gabe is so important to the minister Shabazz, and probably his most dependable associate, and he's become very dependable. And you know what? He didn't trust me for so long, and I would tell Malik, he'd say, Barry, you know, Gabe just don't trust you, man. And I said, good. At least one person's still watching out for you. and I never tried to convince Gabe that, you know, I'm a good white guy, man. I'm all right, you know. And maybe he's still a little leery. Everybody's waiting for the shoe to drop. I'm proud to know this man. He's become a producer on this show, Malik's show, and he works tirelessly for the community, and he loves you. I just got to ask you, Gabe, what's this thing with Gary Brown on Sunday? Why is everybody so upset? What's the deal with that? Why is the minister? What do we do with that?
Well, I tell you, we're going to try to send a message out to the council person, for the lack of a better term for him. We're going to send a message out to him that, you know, selling the city out, selling the people out, selling the people that put him in office is not the way to go. We're going to call on our ancestors,
the greats,
the greats, who he should have learned about when he was in school. He should have learned about the struggles that we had to go through in order to get the right to vote, and that the right to vote is a sacred right. We were African Americans, the last people here in this country to get the right to vote. White women got the right to vote
first
before we did. And that right is a sacred right. Never mind that many times we don't use that right. That's a whole nother subject. But that right is a sacred.
Given the right.
Well, you know, we have the right not to vote if we choose not to vote.
Right.
Sometime not voting is just as strategic as voting.
Right.
But when we do vote, we don't want our vote nullified by just a simple vote of a city council person or five city council
I just
people.
want to ask you, how has anybody sold out? What do you mean? Tell people, how's he sold out? Or how has anyone sold out?
Well, I mean, it's simple that we invest the power to make decisions on our behalf.
For the city.
For the city, but for the people of the city. See, the people is the city.
Correct.
It isn't the roads. It's not the street signs. It's not the buildings or the houses. The city is the people.
Mm-hmm.
And we've invested the power to make decisions on our behalf. And when someone takes that power and goes against what the will of the people is, that is selling out the people.
All right, let me ask you this. What about the others? I mean, there was the other five.
Yes, I mean,
but why him? Why not their houses too? Is it because of he's got a little change? Is it because we feel that he's too close to the governor? I mean, what is it? What makes him stand out amongst the rest?
Gary Brown came into office with the plan to do this. I mean, it's been evident to most people who's been watching the city council that this man has had a mission to sell us out as a people, to turn over the city over to the governor and to the big money people of this state, and it's been evident. So we're going to make an example out of him, but it doesn't mean
nonviolent.
I mean, of course,
right.
We're always peaceful.
Sure.
We are as nonviolent as we are allowed to be.
Mm-hmm.
The minister always tells everyone, he says it on air, we are a peaceful organization. We are not nonviolent, but we are peaceful. But we don't go out and attack anyone that has not attacked us. This is a call to action in terms of sending a message.
And the protest is going to be in the confines of the law too. Nothing,
Oh, of
no
course.
boundaries are going to be crossed.
Oh no, we're not
we don't
going
want-
on this property. We're not recommending.
We don't see one person out of line with us to do anything that we don't want done.
It is
in the name of the law.
It is very rare.
Right.
I mean, I can't recall a time when someone got out of hand while we were running our.
Correct. I understand. We just want everyone to
demonstration.
know. Right. We want everyone to know this is going to be straight up within the confines of the law. There'll be no violence. We're not walking into his house. We're not doing nothing wrong. So,
No.
What time is this Sunday? 3:30.
This is going to be at 3:30. That is May the 27th. And we'll probably be there about an hour or so. It's not going to take you a whole lot of time. 3333 Kingston. That's right off of 7 Mile. He has a beautiful cabin.
Sherwood
there's a
Forest.
beautiful cabin in the
Yeah.
forest.
If you've never had a chance to visit this area, this is a great opportunity
Oh,
to
sure
see how
it
the
is.
other half lives.
Sure it is. We can see what our money has bought him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Do we need to? Are you interested in giving any contact information? If anybody, what questions could they possibly have? But if they want to volunteer, anyways, there's something that needs to be done. Signs are being taken care of.
Yes, we have the signage. All we need is you to come and take part in this. It's an opportunity for you to send the message out to your council person that you don't want to give up not 1 inch of your right, your sacred right for self-determination. You don't want to give up an inch, and we're going to send that message out. If you need any information about it, you can call 313-646-3375. You all know that that's Minister Malik Shabazz's personal cell phone number, because that's the type of leader that he is.
Gabe, this really is about the consent agreement beginning. The consent. We didn't want the consent agreement signed until we all agreed on the terms. We did not have the ability to review this, correct?
Well, yeah, I don't believe it was a matter of we didn't have the opportunity to go over it or anything.
We didn't want to turn it over.
We're not giving up 1 inch.
Thank you.
Not 1 inch of our right to govern ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We send people into office. If they screw up, there are screw ups. And if they screw up, we'll fix it as a people of this city. But no one signs over, no sane person, first of all, Barry, signs over his own power. When you're in a position of power, as a student of history, I've never known of any leader who gives up their power to some other entity.
Some might ask, devil's advocate side, well, what good were we doing for ourselves anyway? Were we handling our city well? Have we been handling our city well? So what do we say to these people?
Well, that's something that a lot of people say, and they make it seem like Minister Malik Shabazz and Barry Ross and all of the so-called conscious people of this city have been running this city. We haven't been running this city. This city has been ran by the Illiches and the Fords and the Rothschilds and all the rest of these rich folks. They've been the ones who's been running this city. Black people have never actually had an opportunity to fully run this city. Political power alone is not going to run this major city. We have to have power with economic power in order to make the changes that we really would like to do. And it isn't that we don't want help. We understand that we have a lot of problems in this city, and Lord knows we could use the help. But help has to be given in a way that
can be received.
It includes us.
Inclusive.
You don't throw us away thinking under the guise that you're going to somehow help us. You know what I'm saying?
Stomp on you and then later on come to the rescue so you can get the credit.
Oh yeah, right.
And listen, I got it. If I could get into a room with 10,000 Caucasians, really, and I'm not trying to be funny, and let them fully understand that black folks don't want to take over the suburbs. I was talking to someone last night. Have you ever seen, talking about we're afraid. Have you ever seen a group of black people going to West Bloomfield and want to hurt anybody? You see black people literally driving out with guns to take you over. White people say, well, we better all bear arms now. Trouble's coming. It's not coming. Black folks are not coming out to get you. They want to work with you. We never in history. Go ahead. I didn't even know it was ringing.
You ready to take that call?
Go ahead.
Caller, you're on air.
Hello, how are you?
Can y'all hear me?
Hello, could you? Is this?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. How are you?
Listen. We went Friday to the council people regarding the consent decree, And Barry, I just want you to know, in case you did not see them on TV, the recording, but there were 2 white guys that came to this council and told them that there is a social injustice about them consenting to an agreement that would allow a takeover and create 2 Detroits, one for the underprivileged, unprivileged, and one for the privileged, which would be the rich folks that will be gated down there off the water, and the rest of us will be standing on the sidelines in the middle of farmland that the corporations will be coming to flood the rest of the land with. So it would divide the city into 2 Detroits, and one for the, of course, the underprivileged and the privileged.
You know, I have to.
There were 2 white guys that came to the table, and they told them that this is a social injustice.
That's right.
And they let them know that that consent decree was wrong. So we do have other people that know that what's going on, and it's an injustice to all.
Yes. Now we don't know each other, but I stand for. I'm not trying to prove anything. Is justice on all fronts.
That's right.
2 nice white people that came forth is great, and I'm not against white people, but realistically, where are the rest? Okay.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying. You know, it's like someone white says to you, "Are you African American, ma'am? Are you African American?" Calling in right now. Okay. So someone says, you know, they just meet you and they go, you know, I went to school with the black girl once. You know, like you're supposed to feel that they can relate to you now. You know, so that's great. I think there's a lot of good people that are coming out, but we need more. You know, I just did a story, I'm Jewish, in the Jewish News to try to get some support from white people coming into the city to help us. Where are they? You know, other than... Okay, that's all I'm saying. Believe me...
One of them represented the Occupy Detroit, so they do stand with us as well.
Yes, and I have a friend here right now who's very close and goes to a lot of the meetings with them. I know, and they're predominantly are Caucasian, I think, and they're all different. They're different national. But listen, I appreciate your call. Thank you.
And keep up the good work, you guys.
Thank you. You know, Barry, with the new charter, now we're going to have council by districts.
Right.
And just mark my words, within the next year, you're going to have a white council person representing the midtown, downtown district.
A lot of whites are moving there.
Oh yes, I mean that they're actually paying white people to move into those districts. They're creating a district. Well, Dan Gilbert.
These are his employees.
Gilbert.
These are his employees. Okay.
And there's others.
Incentives.
Yeah, I mean, but that's all meant. He's not saying move into the city wide. He's not telling them to move over on the east side. He's telling them where they need to move. Okay. And so they're creating a district. And that's just the start. While they're taking over the city, it's no accident that crime is going up. Ambulances are not coming. All of this stuff that's going on is by design. It's making you feel like you can't live here anymore.
It's engineered.
They don't care where you move, as long as you move out of the city of Detroit, because they have plans. They have a document of plans. A strategy that they're using to take over this city piece by piece. Is something that we have always known that they wanted to do, and most of us who have been in positions of power where we can speak to the people have been telling everyone that this was going to happen. Well, what we've been saying would happen is happening, y'all. It's taking place right here in front of your very eyes. They're using a tricky science, a tricky mathematics to take over this city, and not only this city, but all the major cities of Michigan. And it's a test
predominantly
run.
Black cities.
And it's a test run.
Politricks, Mr. Lee calls it.
Once it is done here, they're taking it on the road.
It's a pilot. Listen, hadn't I, and I say this to you, hadn't I come out the last couple of years and learned, you couldn't have beat me over the head with this stuff. Now you don't have to be a rocket scientist to see when I say it all the time. The schools, the lighting. We have water. We sell it to Oak Park, Southfield. They sell it back to us for more than we sold it to them for. True?
They sell it to their own people, but they jack the price up.
When they sell it back to us. Don't they sell it back to us more than we paid for it?
No.
That's what I was told.
No. I think what you're talking about is we sell it to them. They jack the price up. They sell it to their citizens for a higher price, but point the finger at the city of Detroit, blame us for the high water bill, but they're the ones who's jacking the price up. We actually pay a higher price for our water, and we supposedly
then we sell it to them for.
Than what we sell it to them for.
That is a shame. And listen, I had Doreen Brown on.
Yes.
We have about 85,000 street lights.
Yes.
The lighting system.
Yes.
Okay. It's antiquated.
It is. It has been that way for years.
Mercury vapors.
Yes.
They steal the copper underneath.
Yes.
These structures need to be ripped out, replaced. They're not doing anything about the lighting. Now I've been thinking a lot about what it must have been like in 1929 when the stock market crashed and people couldn't eat. But I bet you they had services. I bet you they still had police. I bet you they still had recreation. They still had parks. They were not closed. I don't know. I'd like to do a study. I just think that the services got to be the last transportation.
Especially
buses.
Certain services,
emergency services
has to be kept.
The EMS vehicles, faulty vehicles, sending the damn fire engine that was a TAC unit for the baby with no water. That is saying black. I'm not even going to start.
It is. It is a shame against God. It truly is. But Barry, when I see this antiquated lighting system, what I see is jobs. There's a job that we could be doing in making the new lights, manufacturing them. And then there's jobs that hundreds of our young men could be doing in putting the lights up.
So we should go
We have to start thinking in terms of
more being self-sufficient.
Exactly. I mean, there's old vacant buildings that used to be factories.
Plants, right.
Take those buildings and create dyes or whatever you have to do to create the poles.
Absolutely. We
buy the wiring and go ahead and make street
the
lights. We can do this.
Gabe, how often do we talk about that it's up to the community, to you, to the people, to start taking control of your own neighborhood?
Exactly.
Take control. If you see an old lady getting hurt, you see an old lady about to get beat, if you see someone getting hurt on your street, you better step up. People, I mean, how much more? This to me, the baby Delrick, for them to stand there and probably unloaded 3 clips, I don't know how many were in the magazine, for 15 minutes, and no one stepped up while they're firing into a house. If you don't see the signs, man, if we don't see the signs, I don't know what people are waiting for. They need to join us, join the new Marcus Garvey, Detroit Coalition Against Violence. It takes a village. There are good groups.
There is good groups. We've been on the scene. We're not new to this thing. We didn't just show up recently, got all the little press or whatever, and come out when a child gets killed. We don't just show up then. We're out here all the time, working every single day, trying to make a difference.
Not on a high-profile case, not on a mass murder.
95%, 99.9% of the time, there's no press when we're out there.
The new Marcus
Occasionally,
the new Marcus Garvey movement, is an all-purpose organization. I have become one. Robert Robinson, all-purpose, different but all-purpose. He would be there. He went out on the kidnapping. What is the baby's name? Brianna. The first man on the scene. The old lady that Hollis, Texana Hollis.
Who were
101 years.
evicted from out of her
That's
home.
right. Well, they evicted her out of her home. 11:30 on a Friday night. Who do they call? He's out there first on the scene.
That's right.
Minister Shabazz.
Yes.
What was the name of the incident when they took the child in the shooting last summer on Blaine? What was it? What was her name?
Wow, man, it's been so many incidents,
Aquaman,
but
I
that's
believe
that's the child that they found in the vacant house.
No,
and
this is
burnt
this is the one with the medication that they what's the name of that? Yeah, Godboldo case.
Yeah, I was there on that.
All right.
So was
and we came together, him and I, later on.
Yes.
Hey, this lady wouldn't release herself. She was held in a house, didn't want to release her daughter, excuse my voice, to the authorities because they wanted to put her on a psychotropic drug that was making her daughter psychotic. She took her off. They came to her house. She wouldn't release the daughter. She shot up in the air, apparently. They sent a tank.
Yes, they
sent
a
a tank, 6
and
police
they
cars.
did not have legal right to do it.
Absolutely.
The government can bust your door down. Black boots stomp your door down, walk in and do whatever they want. They lie, cheat, and steal when they want to. And you're not obligated to just sit there and allow them to do it. Now, if you're selling dope and they have a warrant, then
people don't know their rights.
It is wise to go ahead and allow them to do it. But when you've done nothing wrong.
But that's important. But my point is, she called Malik Shabazz. The police called Minister Shabazz. She said, I ain't giving myself up to no one but him.
Yes.
He's there from 6 at night.
Yes.
In his car.
Yes.
Till, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the morning, waiting to negotiate for this woman to come out. And waited. He ain't getting paid. We don't get paid for this stuff.
Right.
That's what's amazing.
And then after a lengthy investigation, you find out that the government was in the wrong. They were in the wrong.
Listen.
And they almost killed her.
We don't front to get money. We're not on the street to sustain a detail or a campaign to make it look more important, to keep it out there for 5 days when we know where the perpetrator is in the first morning, so the news covers us, so we can become more famous, so we can sign you all up. We don't do that.
No.
We need money. I want money.
Members.
I need money on my show. We need members. We need everything. He needs to repair his car.
We don't do it for the sake of the media. We don't do it for the money. If we did it for the money, we're sorry, a bunch of folks, because we're all broke.
I got a little
Lord
something.
knows I'm broke.
I got a little something. Hey, you know these some pastors pimping for the Lord. Pimping for the Lord. Some are. There's a lot of good churches. There's community organizations that are pimping.
Trying to pimp the Lord. I'm not gonna say they pimping for the Lord. They trying to pimp the Lord.
So y'all better recognize who are the straight up and who aren't. And just because I got 1,000 members, that doesn't mean I'm good. You remember the guy in what was his name? The guy that took all the people to Africa and they all drank the Kool-Aid, the cyanide. Mooney
Jonestown.
Yeah,
Jim Jones.
Jim Jones had hundreds and hundreds of followers and convinced them all to drink the Kool-Aid and die.
Yeah. That wasn't Africa. That was South America.
Okay.
Guyana.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Good evening. We're on the air for a short minute. How are you? Hello?
Caller, you're on. You're on, caller.
All right, it's over. I saw a flash.
Okay.
So I can safely say that the three of us in this room and the Better Detroit Youth, we don't perpetrate a fraud on the community.
No.
Now, people have said things about me that I'm exploiting the community to later on take you down? I'll let you be the judge.
Oh, Barry, listen here.
People say things.
Just as you said, when you came on the scene, I was one of the ones who's told the minister, minister, you better be careful. I mean, this guy's Jewish, he's white, you got to be careful, and but I'm glad to have this opportunity to say that you're a good man. This is a good man here. This man has a passion for what he's doing, and he doesn't have to do this. He's a businessman. I don't know what kind of money roll he's holding, but he doesn't have to be out here doing this. This has to be some sort of labor of love, and you're doing good work. You're one heck of a organizer, and you did most of the organizing for what we did Sunday.
Oh, thank you.
And it was miraculous to see us all together, working together, cleaning up the neighborhood.
I am disappointed on the boiled hot dogs that were supposed to be.
Don't even worry about the food, because it wasn't about the food.
I know.
I mean, it was about the work. We cleaned up around these houses. We boarded them up. We had fellowship. We all worked together. There was no cussing, no drinking, no smoking. Everybody working on one accord. Wasn't that wonderful?
It was great. And Mr. Pointer wore a suit when he rakes the lawns. This is a hard-working man. This is a hard-working man. I just want to say, one of my employees, his name is Russell. His wife likes to watch me. Russell can't stand me.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, people say, what is Barry? Is he black, white? He says, no, he's clear. This is so I was like, is this an insult? And then I understood today. I said, no, he ain't black, he ain't white, he's clear.
Well, yeah.
So I'm clear. I used to say, this is white, I ain't white, I'm beige, but I like clear. All right, we got another minute, real quick. Just tell them about Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You want to take a quick call?
Quick. Wow. We started something. Look at him. Good
Hello.
evening. Go on.
Hello, caller.
Hey, my brother.
Yes.
I know I just left, but I had to call. I had to call.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to salute Barry, too. Sunday was the bomb. If you weren't there, it's just hard to describe it. The people, black, white, Latino, children, 9 years of age, 17, 20, 25,
12,
50, 60.
Christina.
Everybody there. Detroiters, those just living out with love. Boarding up the houses, cutting down the bushes, raking the grass, picking up the garbage, coming together in love and in fellowship on 3 abandoned houses. And this isn't the first time, but this was the best time. And I want to salute Brother Barry for this and for all the things that he has been doing. He has come on the scene like gangbusters, and we appreciate it. And I just want to welcome you to the Detroit family and welcome you to the black community, Barry, because you are a black man.
No, I'm a clear
Everybody
man.
on earth is black, and you are black. But the main thing is that we're human, and that we have it within our ability to make a difference, yet while we live. And I'm just glad to know you, Barry.
Hey, likewise, Minister, you've elevated. You elevate me, man. I can't say enough about how much I love you. The body of...
We love you, too. And Gabe, Barry and I fight, too, Gabe.
You're
Gabe
off.
and I fight also.
Yes.
But I want the viewing audience to know that I kicked both of y'all, Rob.
All right.
Hey, but it's okay to disagree, isn't it, Malik? That doesn't mean you got to get a divorce.
You don't have to get a divorce. You
right.
don't have to get ugly. You don't have to become an enemy because there are some
Thank you.
disagreements. What we have to have is dialogue.
You got it.
And keep dialogue going, because the more we dialogue, we begin to realize we got so much more in common
Yes.
than we have that separates us. And
Yep.
Malik, we got to cut, and you know you had the best show ever. We're all proud of you. You had Roy Roberts on,
Thank
revolutionary. I love you. We got to go. I'll see
love
you
y'all
soon.
too. Peace.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week. Gabe, thanks a million for coming, man. It was fun.
Thank you,
Thank
man.
you. We told them how. Days, 9 p.m. on TV 33. Join me, Barry Ross, on Mixing It Up. We'll feature informative community organizations that will offer solutions to Wayne County residents in reference to employment, safety, and security within neighborhoods, job training, education, and mentoring programs. Remember, Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Join me, Barry Ross, Mixing It Up on TV 33.